Hello, I'm Rico and welcome back to Brooklyn Cooking. Today we're getting out of the Brooklyn Italian safety net and going down south to New Orleans and doing some jambalaya. We're going from the big boot of Italy to the little boot of New Orleans. So the main ingredients of jambalaya are Andouille sausages. If you can't get Andouille sausages, a kibasi would work well. Chorizo sausage would work well. You have some chicken. We'll talk about that later. Normally, there's shrimp in here, but I got some, we're on a low budget here, and I got some fish haters in the house, so we're eliminating the shrimp, but everything else is the same. New Orleans has a big French influence on its cooking, so they brought over the mirepoix, which is onion, celery, and carrot. However, when they got to New Orleans, they learned they can't grow carrots. It's below sea level. So they had to dump the carrots, and they substituted green pepper, and they call that the Trinity. So the Trinity is onion, celery, and green pepper. Besides that, we have some garlic. Not really tradition to jambalaya, but I'm going to add a little jalapeno pepper, and we'll pull it out later when it's done. And a couple of bay leaves, a couple of spices. We're going to have two cups of rice, and like regular rice, it's pretty much 2 to 1 on the liquid. So we have 4 cups of chicken stock going in the back. Saving time by not cutting all the vegetables. I want to show you what I do with the andouille since I made half moons. So we have the andouille sausage. I cut into little half moons. To get that, just take the big piece, cut it in half, and just slice it. And some people ask me if you could use Italian sausage rather than andouille or chorizo or kibasi. Actually, kibasi is very good in this. The answer is no and yes. Problem with Italian sausage is not cooked at all. Andouille is fully cooked, as is kibasi, so when you slice it, it's going to stay together like this. Italian sausage just don't crumble in your dish. I guess you could use it if you cook the Italian sausage first, cook it pretty much somewhat through, and then slice it. You'll be able to keep the slices. But, how bad could it be if it crumbles up? There's 2 types of jambalaya and 2 types of cooking in New Orleans. There's Creole cooking and Cajun cooking. From the cooking point of view, the main difference is tomatoes. In Creole cooking, they use tomatoes in the jambalaya. In Cajun cooking, they don't use tomatoes. So we don't do a Cajun jambalaya today, so we're not going to use tomatoes. If you wanted to do a Creole and add some tomatoes, you would get a can of diced tomatoes and add it to the dish. Anyway, we're going to get started. First, we're going to fry up our andouille sausage and chicken, and then we'll add the vegetables. Okay, we're ready to go. Add a little oil. I'm using pure olive oil, not the real good stuff. First thing we want to do is add your andouille sausage. Get a nice high flame. Get yourself a slotted spoon, and you want to get this flavor out of it. We'll cook this up a couple of minutes, then we'll remove it. Okay, a couple of minutes, and we'll get it out to a pot. It's going back in later. Got to make room for the other stuff. See that good flavor and juice in there, that oil? It's good stuff. Adds flavor to your rice. Now we add the chicken. I'm going to season it a little bit with a little Cajun spice rub. It's just basically salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper. Now, I'm a little nuts at this. Most recipes just chop up some chicken breast. I'm adding 2 legs, 2 thighs, and 1 breast. After it cooks up a little, I'll pull it apart. But I like to get the flavor of the bones in there. I'll show you what I do Okay, but this is really, it's fine, and most recipes just some chopped up chicken breast. All right, for this we'll get the tongs. We'll give them a turn. You want to get a nice little color on them. Now don't forget, you're not cooking this all the way through. This is only cook an additional 20 minutes in the rice, so just want to get it going. Get some flavor out of that chicken. Okay, you see the skin is still on this chicken. That's going to come off when I pull it apart. We don't want skin in our jambalaya. That makes sloppy eating. Just cook it up, fairly high heat. And it's got to go a good at least 5-7 minutes. There's chicken on the bone. I think we're good here for now. We're just going to take these off in the plate. If this was just chopped up chicken breast, I would just put it in the same plate as the sausage. And I'll lower the heat a little bit. We're pretty high. Okay, now we got all this good gook in there. The font, or whatever we call it. That's good stuff. You don't want to get rid of that. So now it's time for our vegetables. So we have one onion, one large yellow onion. We got two stalks of celery, and we got one bell pepper. We'll cook that up. The liquid from the onion and whatever will bring up that font and get all that flavor into it. Now you season as you go. So we need a little salt in here. Now's the time for cayenne pepper. Not too much, you know. If you like it really hot, add more. And then some paprika. We're going to go a little hot today. We're adding some Hungarian hot paprika. And we'll just throw some in. Okay, now might as well add your bay leaves. We play a game, fish out the bay leaves. You don't want to eat this stuff. You put in 2, make sure you take out 2. You put in 3, make sure you take out 3. I think we need a little bit of oil here. I forgot to add some oil. Because you don't want to eat those bay leaves. You don't want to give that to your company. Because I don't know, when I put a bay leaf in a soup that cooks, you know, a stock that cooks for 6 hours, you take out that bay leaf after 6 hours and it looks like it's new. So you don't want that in your stomach. Now we might as well add our garlic. We got 4 cloves of garlic here. So we have 1 whole onion, 2 stalks of celery, 1 small to medium sized bell pepper, 4 cloves of garlic. We'll cook it down. See how bottom of your pan is cleaning up? It's a good thing. All those flavors now are in your vegetables, and later on they'll be in your rice. I just took 1 jalapeno. The only reason I got this, it was in my backyard and actually fell out. I actually grew a jalapeno. It's a miracle. So I'm throwing it in. Not really traditional to it, but I left it pretty whole so we could just pull it out. And we'll let that cook a little bit. All right, time to add some oregano. Now it's time for the rice. Take the rice all at once, dump it in there. Now for your Italian cooks, a little like risotto. We have to toast this rice first. Now this is 2 cups of, I use Carolina rice. They actually sell jambalaya rice. You can use a long grain rice. You can use a short grain rice. I like a long grain rice. You can use brown rice. The only thing is if you use brown rice, you're going to need more liquid. So, you know, just follow the instructions for whatever brown rice you have. All right, cut up the chicken. It's still, as you can see, pretty raw. I should have cooked it a little more, but this is fine. It's going to cook for 20 minutes. We're going to get this in here. Cook it up a little. Time for our sausage. Let everything cook. Good. Let's get those flavors together. Now, if you're going to make this Creole, this is about the time you would add your tomatoes. Just get the bottom going. And now it's time for the soupy, the broth. Kick it up. You want to bring it to a boil. This is the time to clean up the bottom as best you can. You want to bring it to a simmer, and now we're just going to make rice the way you would normally make rice. Once this comes to a simmer, we cover it and cook it for about 20 minutes until all of that liquid is absorbed. Then we have jambalaya. Yeah, I didn't add any hot sauce. I could have, but add the hot sauce to the finished product. Whoever wants hot sauce adds hot sauce. Okay, I'm a little nuts. I think bones have a lot of flavor, so I'm going to add the bones into the broth. I threw out the breastbone. I just have the two leg bones and the two thigh bones. Get that down in there. But if you want to save the disgusting part of this, just get yourself some chicken breast, cut it up, and fry it up like you did the sausage, and that's the way to go. If you're using shrimp, this is the time to add your shrimp. Shrimp you don't have to pre-cook. That really pretty much it's pretty quick. Okay, it's starting to come to a boil. We'll just give it one last stir. We'll cover. We'll lower the heat, and we'll wait 20 minutes. We got some leftover carrots because we did the Trinity and not the Mirepoix, and I had these for display purposes, but she's been such a good girl through this, and she loves carrots. Give me a paw. Give me a paw. Give me the other one. Good girl. Our 20 minutes are up. Let's see what we got. Baby. Looking good. We got all our sausage, our chicken. Onions came to the top. Rice is all the liquid's pretty well absorbed. I would say we're good to go, and we shut it off. Time for the best part, the taste test. We'll grab a little chicken. Chicken looks cooked through. Hot, hot, hot. Rice is good. It's both hot temperature and hot spicy, which is nice. And the andouille. Got a little lucky. The bone came pretty much up to the top. We got two here. Two bones down, two to go. And we'll get them out later. When we were in New Orleans about 10 years ago, took a little jambalaya class where you got to eat your thing. It was just very just friendly, low tech thing, and the guy gave a little lesson on a couple of pronunciations of some words, and he said, "Is it a pecan or a pecan?" And he said, "It's a pecan. A pecan is something you pee in when you're drunk." And they said, "Is it a praline or a praline?" He said, "It's a praline. A praline is when you're drunk on Bourbon Street and you're leaning against the wall and you're praying you get home." And that's my lesson on New Orleans lingo. I hope you enjoyed this and you give jambalaya a shot. It's really nothing to it. I say it's add what you like. You don't like something, don't add it. You like something, put it in. Just make it a rice dish. Really no different than cooking rice 20 minutes with double the amount of liquid to rice, and putting in some extra flavors and just letting it cook. Very simple. Hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you soon. Arrivederci.